And here we go, the fifth episode of Hangry Caveman, and we've got my professor, the man, Alain Pozo. How are you,
How are
Professor?
you, Kev?
I'm good. I'm good. How are
Good,
you?
good, awesome.
Oh man,
Good, good, really good.
how you been?
Difficult. Difficult by hanging in there, yeah. Have to,
Yeah, that's it.
you know.
We all have to.
The
There's no choice
thing
right
is,
now.
I always tell everyone, like, we're the fighters, you know. We do this every day. We fight every day. We fight. We train every day. We started from zero. You know, we don't come from a rich family. We don't come from
Yeah,
privilege for many things. So, you know, if I have to start from zero all over again, so be it.
yeah. So be it.
So,
It's
waiting
all
for it to
about
be over.
control.
I've been hearing some good news now, but I
Yeah.
don't know if they're accurate or not.
What's the
Then
good
how you
news?
been?
What's the good news?
Well, I don't know if it's real or not, but I've seen some like reports on the news saying that schools might be on first because kids are out of danger, and also May 19th, small businesses. Sorry, yeah, May 19th or 16th.
Okay.
So I don't know how real it is, but that made me feel much better.
Yeah, definitely. I bet you're itching to go back on the mat right now.
Man, like
This
never
must be the
before.
longest period of time you haven't actually rolled on jiu-jitsu.
Uh, in 2009, I had my worst injury ever, which was a knee injury.
Yeah,
But I was living in the gym at the time.
right,
I was sleeping on the mat. Me and
right.
Claudia, we lived in the gym. It was in the gym in Hangry Street. We lived there, and I injured my knee really bad, and I couldn't train,
Yeah,
but for a while. But the worst part was I would rather if I could live in a if I was living in an apartment, it would have been better. But because I was living in the gym, that made it worse, you know.
yeah.
Because you
Watching.
see people training all the time, and you don't
Yeah,
you're in the gym, but you can't train. That's worse.
yeah. So, what have you been doing then?
Man, look, bit of a workout, long walks. I'll
Yeah,
just say we did some videos as well. It should be out soon
that's good.
for our students, you know. But just hanging in there, you know, just pretty much waiting for this to be over. Been
Yeah,
playing video games, obviously, you know, like trying to get my mind. Because the problem is, if you see the news all the time, you just go crazy, you know.
yeah. There's
In video
nothing
games, at least they keep you like from.
occupied.
And I'm not a good reader.
Yeah,
I'm not a good reader, so I don't read books that much, you know.
yeah.
I mean, I read some books, but I'm not really a good reader, so it's hard. The best way for me to keep my mind occupied and not think about the circumstances that we're living right now, probably economical circumstances.
Yeah.
So video games have been the best so far.
I bet you and Tommy and Malik all playing on it, and the whole team, right?
No, I don't play live.
No?
I don't play live. I got this game, Red Dead Redemption, you know, the cowboy game, and
Okay.
it's a free world, and you just, you know, on your
Rolling.
horse, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of things to do there, and
Oh, okay.
I just occupy, you know, myself. Like Sarah's been watching a lot of shows. I know she reads a lot, so
Yeah.
she's a better reader. But for me, and also, you know, the concentration thing, I'm like more of the hands than the brain. You know, I'm more hands on. You know, I like to do like things outside. I'm an outdoors person.
Yeah.
One thing is I never stayed in the house for
No,
that long.
no. This is the first time I've stayed in the house. I've stayed at one place for this long as well. This is same.
Yeah, even if I'm ill, I'm not in the house.
No,
You know.
you're doing something, moving somewhere.
Yeah. Once there was a guy that said like there was a weekend that I was so busy and something like that. You know, it was not long ago, and one of my students said I started feeling a little bit ill, but that was before coronavirus.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, you're feeling a bit ill. You might as well stay home." I said, "I cannot afford to get ill.
Yeah.
I got too many important things coming up in the next like few weeks that I just can't be ill." I don't know if that has to do with the mindset, but definitely
Yeah,
I
your
had to
immune
get better
system,
the next day, and I did.
when you're on overload, your immune system is already low, but your body pushed through it. But when you get a chance to relax, like most of our clients, when they get a chance to relax, that's when they get ill.
Yeah,
Your body
that's it.
defense comes back down, right?
I've been taking a lot of those vitamins that you recommended.
Yeah.
I haven't had nothing, not even a sore throat, nothing.
That's
And
good.
usually at this time of the year, I do get ill.
Really?
Not really bad. I never got really badly ill, but usually at this time of the year, I get a cold.
Yeah.
But this year, because I've been taking a lot of medicine and I kept myself isolated. I had nothing.
And plus, you're resting as well. I think this is, well, as far as I know, this is probably the first time you rested for years now. So,
Years.
Years.
Yeah, since, I don't know. Yeah, like when I lived in America for a period.
Yeah.
From 2006 to 2009.
Yeah.
It was in Florida.
Okay.
I've been watching this series on Netflix called Ozark.
Okay, what's that?
Yeah, it's in the south of is in Missouri. It's kind of like this redneck area in America,
Right.
and this is where I used to live because it's not Florida where Miami is. It's in the north central Florida, is near Alabama.
Okay.
So they have the same mentality as Alabama, and that.
Right.
And when I was there, I had a lot of free time,
Uh-huh.
which I didn't enjoy. That's why I left. I had a lot of it's different culture than here. I had a car.
Yeah.
There's no public transportation. I wasn't busy like here. I had some shit job there,
Yeah.
working in a hotel and training, but I wasn't as busy as I am now, like when I am in Europe,
Different.
So
out here though.
I had a little bit of time, so I think that was the last time where I could, sit down, like 2-3 days in a row, not do much.
Yeah.
Is when I had a normal job.
Normal job.
That was the last time, really. But sometimes I had to do like shifts, like night shifts, like 11 at night to 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
So that was brutal. But like right now, I don't know. I don't remember any time.
Yeah.
There's one day, maybe when I got arrested here. I spent like 8-9 hours in the cell. That was horrible.
I know there's gonna be some
no cell phone.
No.
That was for self-defense, by the way. Somebody's watching.
Always self-defense. I'm sure, Professor. It's always self-defense.
Yeah. I had to defend myself, so someone tried to attack me, and I had to defend myself. Obviously, they were right, but they called the police right away.
Yeah.
They're very brave, trying to, assault me, and so yeah, that's it. So but unfortunately, yeah, I think Tommy was in a similar situation, and
oh yeah,
yeah, self-defense. So that's,
yeah.
But anyway, like this, yeah, this is maybe a time to like know people better, actually, because I've been speaking to my students now, like live, and I've been interviewing my students,
Yeah.
Like I've been doing in Instagram, and you get to know more or less, because I think sometimes we're so busy, and I don't know if the world is going to slow down a bit now.
I think so. I think people are having some more downtime, then they get to reflect their own personal journey and actually search for themselves why we're doing certain things. I mean,
yeah,
some of our guys is working silly hours. I mean, I think they've finally realized, oh, actually, I'm enjoying this time off with my family finally.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are. I'm not that much,
Yeah.
But a lot of people are. Like I was actually working, but I do enjoy my job, But physically, it could be draining because you gotta get transport, you gotta wake up in the morning, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. But it's like I really enjoyed every bit of it. It's like a lot of people said, never in my life someone called me a workaholic.
Yeah.
But now the last, let's say, 8 years, many people said to me, man, workaholic, even as a joke, my Brazilian friends.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I would spend 21 days in a row without no rest at all. But I do enjoy it a lot. It's not for me, it's not a chore. The thing is, I build my, from my jiu-jitsu team.
Yeah.
I would say our jiu-jitsu team, but I was the first one to start.
Yeah.
But it was all me. From the right in the beginning was just me, me and Sarah, but it's me in the beginning, I think it was very hard for her as well, in Essex, the first class she ever taught in Essex. It was weird. Like I had to divide the class. It was when we were very inexperienced as well as instructors. So I made a mistake of dividing the class, and I left some guys with her, and guys like felt that that was an offense that a woman was teaching them.
Yeah.
So they stood up and left.
Right.
That was in Colchester in 2009, you know. But yeah, she's been like since day one. Obviously, if it wasn't for her, there would be no team, you know. But if you do something yours, like let's say like starting a band, which is something similar, or what you do, obviously your own business, personal trainer. There's no point in just being hard worker. I think everybody's a bit hard worker, you know. I think you have to be obsessed.
To take it to that next level, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because what happened is I had jobs in the past, you know, and they were shit jobs because I never graduated on anything, you know. I never went like, well, I went to school, but it was terrible.
Yeah.
I was never like naughty, you know, like student, but I was like not naughty, obviously a bit, you know, but not terrible. Like they were worse than me. I was just the worst student, like grades and stuff, the worst.
Well, that's only the
I think
academic side, doesn't mean.
Yeah, academic, I was just horrific. And even in the sports part, I didn't even do the sports parts. I just didn't like going to school at all. I just like seeing my friends then.
You just want to be in a different environment.
So it was for me, it was a lot of bad jobs for the rest of my life. That was because, you know, what would I have supposed to do? So I started working in hotels and stuff. That was the best I could actually achieve in my life. It was working in a hotel. I don't think I would achieve more.
Well, that's a different mindset.
I think I remember working in but that was in the early 2000, early 2000, working in a travel agency for 2 days, 3 days. But quickly they realized I wasn't experienced enough because I lied in the interview. They like let me go, you know. I just did like that. So I didn't want this life. Obviously, I hated this life of working for other people, doing something I don't enjoy. So I was gonna be a lot of like misery for the rest of my life. So when I started jiu-jitsu, I told this to everybody. When I started jiu-jitsu, I won the lottery.
Yeah.
When I started teaching jiu-jitsu, I won the lottery. You know, I became like, this is my calling. You know, and the better I did, the more motivated I got, and the more I wanted to work. So every time someone offered me a job, whatever it was, like commentating, refereeing, seminar, coaching, anywhere, Kazakhstan, New Zealand, everywhere I went, I took it.
It'll be good to take a look at your passport where you've been in the last few years. Just some of the places.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, they didn't stamp it in Europe. You know, they don't stamp in Europe because, well,
they will now.
Yeah, man, in the UK, yeah. But no, I'm a resident here. I got, you know, there was a guy back in the day when I was in Colchester. He was from Ipswich, this guy, and he did call the immigration on me once because he wanted me out of the area. Right. You know, because I was taking a lot of the students in the area. You know, not that I was like coaching anyone. They just came on their own will. Obviously, you cannot drag on
the martial arts industry. I think a lot of my old coaches, they have the same thing. They always argue over branches and over martial arts. I think it's just an ongoing thing. I don't think we'll ever get away from this.
It's part of the game, yeah. Like I have to say, in jiu-jitsu, in the jiu-jitsu world in the UK, like, I think it's not like in Brazil, you know, like there's a lot of confrontation. At least there was back in the 90s when I started training.
Okay.
But in the UK, I think it's a bit civil, you know, civil. I noticed that. Even if you don't like the other coaches, you say hi, or you just nod your head, and there's no gym invasion. I don't think there's any more of this in Brazil. But there is still fights in competitions, you know, like in jiu-jitsu tournaments, I heard. But now you can sue people in Brazil, so I guess like it's less. But back in the day, it was a lot, you know. Like here, I only seen.
I mean, back in them days, is that when you started? I mean, the gym invasion thing, was that a thing when you started?
Sorry, what?
The gym invasion. Did you?
No, this was the Gracies in Brazil. I never seen a gym. There was one gym invasion in the UK. One, and I witnessed it.
Okay.
It was one, 2010 maybe.
Yeah.
I can only say two things. The gym was in Hangry Street, and there's another gentleman called Claudio Silva. Story. Unfortunately,
Okay.
I don't know
I
if
think
it's
with this,
appropriate for me to say it online, but there's only one gym invasion that I witnessed in the UK, and actually that I heard of.
okay, it's a mystery. We'll have to do this. We'll have to do this offline.
Gotta do this offline. Yeah,
We'll have to
yeah.
do this offline.
Better offline. I don't know. I don't know what, but it's true
Yeah.
story, man. Very true story.
No, I can't be
Maybe Claudio can tell you.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe
know. I don't think.
Claudio.
Not many people watch it. I think the stuff. Obviously, like because if you do jiu-jitsu or something like that, you don't have that massive problem. I think in MMA is more
Yeah.
people watch. A lot more. But yeah, it's okay. It was from back in the day. I mean, I don't want to say names or the names, but the coach was he bullied everyone.
Yeah.
He had a problem with confidence, I think, this coach. It's
Okay.
true. He had a problem. I could be whatever I am, but he had a problem with confidence, and that's how. And because of the problem he had with the confidence, he bullied people.
Yeah.
Because they thought he was gonna get some respect, some sort of respect. I never seen anyone speak. There was a moment that he was speaking to me in a way, and to Claudio as well, and to other of his students as well. And I thought, is this how it is? Is this how? Because I was just started coaching,
Yeah.
And I was thinking, there's a moment that crossed my head, and I was thinking, is this how you should be a coach? And I'm sure that if you treat people like this, you talk to people like that, that's how your students are gonna think. That's the way you speak, But the time passed, and I have to say he had a very strong team. I'm not talking about like financial success in the gym, but I'm talking about the team that he had. Because we all do jiu-jitsu, we want to have like a strong, solid powerhouse team, like when you go to tournaments, you see good results, it makes everyone happy. Out of I never met any coach that didn't enjoy that,
We're all competitive.
It's a competitive sport, and I seen his team went downhill completely.
Is that because
it's an okay team, but it went. He could have, if he hadn't had that personality, I think he would have been probably the number one team or coach right now in the UK.
Right. Okay.
One or two,
Yeah.
But this is a long time ago,
Long time ago.
I don't speak with this guy anymore. And again, it's like if we see each other, maybe a nod or something. Yeah. At least my part, I'll try to nod.
Just mutual respect. You don't
it's okay. Spend many years now, and I mean, I wasn't really like I was there at the gym invasion. There was no nothing very physical, really.
Yeah.
It's just to sort out some things, because people have this. It's a lot of testosterone,
Yeah, of course. It's a fight sport.
Nobody's gonna do like a I don't know, like some dancing modern contemporary dance studio, and they're gonna put it in the studio and try to invade some other guy's dance studio,
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Even dance studios, they still have dance off, so there's always competitiveness
with the dance off.
Yeah, there's always
they probably have a dance off. Yeah. But in fighting, there's a lot of testosterone. Yeah. Some people don't have. I'm surprised now. Everything changed. I'm not the toughest guy in the world, but I do think that you need a certain level of a little bit of toughness. Yeah. If you want to be a good competitor in MMA or jiu-jitsu, there's a degree of toughness that you need also to take on the training, because you witnessed our pro training.
Yes.
And if you have a very weak mind, or if you don't have that fighting spirit, it's really hard. You can do jiu-jitsu for
you get through that one session, you won't be back for the second. If they weren't mentally prepared or mentally ready to go into that training, they'll get through one session, they'll finish that one session. They won't come back for the next one.
No. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much it.
You have to want all the guys who you get that little elite group. I'll have that. I want that mentality. It's hard to explain my mentality. It's not.
And of course, I get upset as well, like everybody.
It's not an aggressive mentality, but it is.
It's the will to win. You want to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a desire of winning. Is that a desire that you have deep inside? I tell everybody that I was, I don't lie anything about my past. I was never a fantastic competitor. I was an okay competitor. Masters, did a few and Yaro, because I started late, and actually started competing late, regularly.
Yeah.
I don't know, I always competed since white belt, but when I started late, and also, there's a few things in my life when I had to leave Brazil to go to Europe, which I had to restart over again. And back then in the year 1998, 1999 is when I left Brazil to Europe, Yeah, 1999, I think. Jiu-jitsu was really hard to train, so I spent a few years without training, I really enjoyed it every time I could do something like a judo class or whatever. I really enjoyed it. But, like everybody used to tell me and all the time, and it's not a bad thing to say as well. Like people were worried, to say, why don't you stop doing this karate? This is not going to take you anywhere, man. Like, come on, like this is family members and friends, and like rightly so, because there was, if you look at jiu-jitsu at that time, if you look at jiu-jitsu now, there is a career, but if you look at the time, man, it's just nothing, man. It was terrible. Even to explain to someone.
Yeah.
I remember explaining MMA, Vale Tudo. I think it's just the name MMA started in the early 2000s. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just
I think it's
explain
when the MMA scene hit.
Huh?
I think it is what you said. When the MMA scene start growing in the UK or in Europe, then people recognize.
Because there was the first boom of MMA.
Yeah.
And that was when I started. I was very lucky as well.
Yeah.
Because I started teaching just when the MMA boom was going a little bit down, and the BJJ was going up. Because a lot of people said, okay, I'm going to do MMA. And then what? You're going to compete in MMA?
Yeah.
It's hard, man.
Yeah.
It's really hard. It's not for everybody. There's no such thing as, this is for everybody. No, you cannot go in a cage in front of everybody and fist fight. I don't know, in front of your parents. It's just tough,
Yeah, it was just.
I have a student of mine, James Webber. He gets nervous. I understand why. Everybody does. And I don't know. Maybe some people like from Dagestan, they don't. But he gets nervous, and it's totally normal. And you understand why. And you have to be sure you say the right things as well, so you don't ruin that moment.
Yeah.
I was lucky when I did the MMA fights, the MMA fight. I had no one saying the wrong thing as well, And this is another thing, is that you're surrounded by positive people a lot, depending on the team you are, which is in the case our team, like it's the positivity that I see is not a positivity that you just do it to get popular or to do likes or to get, to act like you're someone like guru. I'm no guru, but we do want to win. And one of the ways for us to achieve that success is actually to be positive within ourselves, with us, with the team.
I mean, the team you built is a very small, close-knit team. Is that the intention, just to make sure everyone who's in there is that the way you wanted it, or is that just the way it turned out?
It turned out that way. It depends, because what happened is this. Personally for me, because now we expanded. We got like Lee Kirtley up north. We got Bradman in Gloucester. We have Sam in Brad in Milton Keynes, Sam in Gloucester, Valdemar now. There's so many, like it's spread out in the affiliates now.
Yeah.
Not a lot, like obviously like Checkmate, Roger Gracie Baja. I think those are the ones that have more, obviously, and that's fantastic. They've been around for much longer, and they do great, And it's really good that we have this competition. It's fantastic for the sport. This is what made the sport grow, is this competition that we have against each other.
Of course, yeah.
Well, those teams I do respect a lot. There's fantastic coaches in those teams, and actually learn a lot from them.
Yeah. See, that's another thing. I remember you saying I can't remember which competition you went to. I think you went away for a competition for a week and a half, and as soon as you came back, you wanted all the top elite guys. All right, I've seen this at the competition. I want you guys to try this, man. All the new style is not the old style. This is great, man. You see that, but you don't see that a lot of people opening up to new style or new version of certain old things, or just repeating.
No, there is the teams that I mentioned.
Yeah.
Most of the coach, because they're a big team, you know. But the teams that I mentioned, they do.
Yeah.
They do. Some coaches, I know they keep in a very close, like open mind
Yeah.
for all the things that are happening right now in jiu-jitsu, which you have to. If you want to take 20 guys minimum to a tournament, you got to be open-minded. You know, you cannot say, oh, just I'm against guard pull.
Yeah.
Nothing against that, but you cannot do jiu-jitsu. You have to do wrestling or judo.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do well if you're in Masters 3 or 2 in brown belt, or let's say the London Opens and stuff. But it's hard even for Masters to completely neglect that part.
Yeah.
You know, and then the lapel guard, which is boring and stuff. But going back into the thing that we were talking about, the team, right? Like how the team was built. I think the team was built mainly because in Colchester, we've been together for the same, not the same group as it's impossible, but a very, the group, the core guys,
Yeah.
we've been together for 10 years. We know each other really, really well. It's family. You know, they're supporting the gym right now. And that's a very close group. Everybody can tell that when I'm there, obviously I'm happy to teach everywhere and I really enjoy it, but they can see when I'm there is I act more myself, you know?
Yeah.
We know each other really well. Then there's the London team, which is a new team.
Yeah.
Our team in London is new.
Okay.
And that was built by Tommy.
Yeah.
Tommy Yip, massive. First guy.
Yeah.
Then Mateus. Massive.
Yeah.
But as soon as he came to the team, he added, you know, he added something to it, you know. Romão.
Yeah.
No words to describe the support that I had from him. I mean, the moment he came to the team, it was weird because I knew him. Out of everybody else, I knew Romão since zero. Since his first, maybe not his first class, but definitely his first month. Okay. You know, I trained with him 100 times, I think, you know. And we've been very close and distant, but he was always with another instructor.
Right.
But when he came in, he added so much. It was unbelievable how much he added. So on top of my head, obviously, you know, me and Sarah, we're you know, leading everything. But I think, and then you have the guys that they don't do much jiu-jitsu. Like obviously Manny doesn't train jiu-jitsu, but massive support. The Fight City just lets you, and shoot fighters as well, just let me manage the program, the jiu-jitsu program the way I want.
Yeah, yeah.
Let someone who's ambitious just do their work without thinking. I had problems in the past of someone in Colchester, one of the gyms in Colchester. The guy wanted the attention for him, but it's hard when in Chelmsford, the guy wanted the attention for himself. It didn't work out at gym. The guy wanted the attention for him. Yeah. But it's hard if he goes. It's very organic. The attention goes to the people that are doing the work. Simple as that. In our team, this is how it goes. You want an opportunity, you got to put the work. Yeah. The opportunity doesn't go for one guy. Let's say for Taylor only. You know, who wins everything and is a fantastic. He's been with me since day one. No, the opportunity goes to everyone. Yeah. As long as you put the work in, you get that opportunity. You get the goal. You want to teach? What I do is I don't give you anybody money. You know, I give everybody one opportunity, like one class a week or something like that. For example, these three guys I mentioned, Tommy, Mateus, they all started with one class only. Someone that said, Alan, is there someone that can teach a class here? And you look around on the mat and like, oh yeah, Homo is right there. Homo, you want to have a go? Yeah. And he took it, and now he's teaching full-time jiu-jitsu. Yeah. You got to push. You push, and then you. I
mean, Tommy, Mateus, and Romão, just you give him something, they just run with it. Especially Mateus. Mateus's personality does help him, though. Very talkative.
Mateus is a different personality from the average Polish person I met. I have fantastic friends in Poland and students, pretty much. I went to Poland. I have close friends there. before I ever went to Poland, I never met Polish people.
Yeah.
And I went to Poland my first time. That was in 2009, right when I left the United States. I left America. I came here for a week, and I went to Poland. I had a friend, Brazilian friend of mine, who was a kind of like a coach to me, a mentor to me when I was a blue belt. Roberto Tala. I learned a lot of jiu-jitsu from him, you know, when I was a blue belt. And he was teaching there in Poland, and I was there for maybe a couple of months, you know. And I was so surprised about how people are there. I thought that everybody was going to be closed, cold, not very open, rude. Quite the opposite, my friend.
Yeah.
Quite the opposite. Very open, fun. But Mateus is more like a Brazilian, you know, sometimes, you know. He talks a lot, you know, like he's very open. He even talks with his hands. You know? Yeah. But Polish people are fantastic people, man. I'm really happy that, you know, we had this opening in the UK when it opened for all the Eastern Europe countries to come, you know, because I'm sure that this didn't happen. I haven't met so many great people like I did, you know. Like I have my black belts from white to black, like Pavel, you know, Arthur in Colchester, in the Ipswich, you know. Like these people have been with me since day one, you know, the very first day I saw them walking in the gym. I was like, training, you know, with me since now they're a black belt. That's we know each other really well. So that's another good part of jiu-jitsu, is knowing the people are very, like, you know, you just, it's not like a casual thing. Once you spend 10 years with them, you know, with my personality, I have to give a black belt to someone from white to black. You got to know them well.
Yeah. I mean, the team is so diverse with different people from different background, different personality. It's just so mixed. Even just the three you're on about, Tommy, Mateus, and Ramon.
Very different.
So different.
All three.
I mean, how
completely different goals as well.
Yeah.
I mean, all of them wants to be super successful in competition.
Yeah.
They want to be a great athletes in gi and no gi. They went through the hardest route. They took the hardest route. There's no way of saying there is no hard. That is the hardest route. I don't know. Fighting gi and no gi, adult division. They want to be successful, and they are. They want to be good instructors, good coaches, and they want to run a successful gym. You know, they want to make money. There's another problem with the mentality of some people in jiu-jitsu. Obviously, some people who still have the mentality of the old hall taekwondo type mentality, that this is more like a charity. It's not good to make money out of certain things.
Yeah.
It's not good to, you know, charge for jiu-jitsu. And I've seen a lot of people doing that.
Yeah.
And if you have like another job, or you have a family, you know, that you come from a successful family, you know, with money and stuff, it's you don't see the way we see. We have to work. We have to pay rent, food. And if we don't, we can't teach. We don't get this quality of jiu-jitsu. We don't get these students. That's it. We just
can't
don't
even teach. Just renting the mat spaces.
And things for free. We do a lot, man. Yeah. You as well, right? We put a lot of our time for these boys as well. For the people that are the professionals, yes, we have to put a lot of free time for them as well. I cannot just tell, you know, like them, I won't be on your corner in jiu-jitsu only if you pay me this. You know, like this, it doesn't. It's not like that that I'm saying. But obviously, you know, the private classes, the seminars, and the refereeing, everything. Yeah. You need an income.
Yeah.
And if you don't have an income, your team is, name me one coach that is not a full-time coach, like a successful coach right now. I can't think that does.
You can't be a halfway
like
coach.
A job here and there. Huh?
You can't be a part-time coach. It doesn't work.
I don't think so. I don't see it that way. I don't see, and I cannot see myself working really hard in the morning all day and coming to the gym and then putting the work in every single day the way I do, the way I dedicate myself. 7 days a week, you know.
Even when you're downtime, you're probably similar as well. When you're just traveling home, you're always thinking, oh, this guy could do this. Maybe this guy could do it training this way. You never stop as a coach. You always trying to find ways for them to improve faster and quicker from my side, I was like, how do I make this guy faster? How do I make this guy stronger? I need him to get better, quicker, and being safe. I need him to be safe when he's out there. Minimal injury, like Malik.
Minimal injury.
Man, it's like Malik's one of them. In my eyes, like he takes in every single information you give him in jiu-jitsu world. You, Tommy, everyone who throws anything at him, he just soaks it up like a sponge.
It shows in his career.
Yeah.
The last competition he did was the last competition we had in the UK. Yeah. The grappling industry. He's fighting an adult at 17 years old with heel hooks and everything, and he won double gold.
Man, and that's the thing.
Just shows that. I mean, European gold medalist. You know, anybody that is hating like, oh, you know, like European gold medalist, London Open, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know, British. I mean, the kid is, there's no talent, not much talent there.
Yeah.
Like most of the guys, like Taylor's not very talented. They're just hard workers, you know. They work really hard.
I mean, there's only a few % different, but then if you're willing to overwork that percentage of difference between natural talent and hard work is always going to pay off.
I've seen some guys that are obviously natural talented. You can tell. Yeah. It exists, the extreme talent, you know. But I think I gotta tell you, on top of my head, like right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. James Webb. I don't think he's naturally talented.
Yeah.
Hard worker. Taylor Pearman. All these not naturally talented. Malik. I would say Tommy more. Very athletic, very flexible. Yeah. Could be wrong, but born with a lot of flexibility. Yeah. You know,
it's definitely
smart,
flexibility.
Very smart. So I think he's got a little bit more talent.
Yeah.
But Giannis is definitely born talented. Yeah. I think so. He's strong, naturally ripped. He never looks out of shape ever.
Yeah.
So some people are, and they do well.
I remember hearing on an interview you did with somewhere else earlier about Giannis, how he, when you grapple with him, how he doesn't back off with you.
No, he doesn't go 100% with you.
He'll go 100% with you.
No, never. Right? I cannot handle that boy 100%. I can't.
Yeah.
I roll with him hard. But not he doesn't go 100% on me. I don't have no chance.
You feel like he doesn't go 100% with you?
No, he can't. He's gonna murder me. We go hard. I mean, I go hard. Yeah. I go hard on him. He has to. You know, I'm a man. You know, I'm old, but I have my strengths as well. But obviously, he doesn't need to go 100% on me. But he goes hard, and I feel like. Wow, man. I feel fighting against the high level guys I used to go back in the day. You know, like I trained with so many high level guys. I always say that's a good thing about not doing boxing and doing jiu-jitsu, because in jiu-jitsu you get access to the people you've been watching on TV. Like I trained with guys I used to watch them in VCRs, you know, and I had a chance to train with them, you know, from Carson Gracie, Amari Bitetti, you know, Carson Gracie Jr., you know, I trained with all these guys. But then the more elite level guys, like high level guys of today's era, like Calazans and, you know, Clark Gracie, you know, a little, maybe not now, but I trained with him, and it felt like similar.
Yeah.
It feels similar training with Giannis. You know, it doesn't, you know, it's like that thing that you're gonna grip him and they break your grip and you feel like your fingers are gonna break in half. You know.
Yeah, this is the thing you go in training as well. There's not that much difference between your elite team, the elite team now, and all these people on YouTube where they put on a big pedestal on the well-known name.
Yeah, no. Giannis went to the. It's not. They haven't proved anything at black belt yet because they haven't got their black belts.
Yeah.
You know, some already got it, but you know, and doing really well, like, you know, but yeah, they haven't got it yet. They want one more worlds. You know, they believe they can win the world. They know they're going to win the worlds, you know?
Yeah.
And Giannis went to the worlds now recently.
Yeah.
No-gi worlds. If you see the list of competitors, it's ridiculous. And he tapped André Galzão's student, you know? De Angelis. He's got instructionals and everything. And great instructions.
Yeah.
He's a really high profile guy from Flow Grappling. But that's the thing of the media as well. Like and rightly so, not hating on the media. Flow Grappling, fantastic job. They do what they know in the area. They're based
That's
in
their
the United
job, though. They're
States.
meant to make these guys. Well, if the media don't promote this guy, this sport will never grow bigger. They have to do this.
Yeah, but then I don't want to moan about these guys. But then I think there should be a branch on Europe, because Europe also has a big market, and a lot of people can watch. The problem with Europe is Flow Grappling is in English, and we're not gonna get that many viewers maybe in Italy, Spain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Greece. That is I believe that there's a
Language
barrier there for this market here. It will be just UK and Ireland, which just UK and Ireland will be a good market anyway. But I hope that I invited. I mean, there's no such thing as, this is what I don't like, is complaining about, Flow Grappling doesn't give it. We need to do our own thing then. What I did was, I did a few things, but one of the things I did was inviting the guys from Flow Grappling to come to our Balaton camp, so they can see how the level of our guys. They can see what we train. They can see what we got. They can see we put 400 people on the mats there in a summer camp.
Yeah.
They can see the level of the summer camp, the guests that we invite. So I think the best way, if you want to do something, is here. This is what we got. And I've seen they came before to Ireland. Sorry.
No. Can we go on a little bit about the Balaton camp? Because I'm not too familiar with it, and some viewers are not too familiar with this. What I know is Max
Carvalho, Zehadiola started the Balaton camp. Max in Hungary. Balaton is in a lake, 45 minutes from Budapest airport. Massive lake. I don't know if it's the biggest lake, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it's a massive lake in Central Europe, massive. And it's like a beach, like you can hardly see the other side of the lake. Some places you can't see the other side of the lake. Yeah. And they have like all the sports, water sports and everything. The weather is fantastic.
Yeah.
And we have this mezzanine built right in front of the lake. You train there full time. You train as much as you want. And you're not obligated to do all the training as well. Like, let's say, man, look, I'm 50 years old. No, you can relax. You have a beer in the evening, do one training in the morning, like whatever you want. It's got all types. It's not just the high. We separate. We put the high, like we do in the pro training. We separate the adult high level competitors to train with them.
Yeah.
Most, not always, but one of the days. And then I only train with masters guys when I'm there, because that's my opportunity. I have an opportunity to train with a lot of black, brown belt guys my age, which is very important. Girls, lots of girls training there. So it's very important that women train with women as well, with men, but it's very important they train. Sometimes girls don't develop that much if they're just training with men. I don't think so. Maybe they do, like some. There's maybe, but I think they develop more when they train with girls. Like women's only like camps, and that's why they got so much of that stuff. The same way for masters as well. It's slower, it's less inversion.
Yeah.
And they got everything. We separate actually the white belts and the colored belts as well. Like you get all full attention. One instructor just to teach the white belts one day. They all rotate. Brilliant. And it's every year in August. So hopefully, if this is over by May-ish, June, maybe we can still have it.
Yeah.
Small maybe, but hopefully if Jiu-Jitsu is still up, we will.
We'll see how it plans out. But
it's cheap. You get a flight from UK, London to Budapest. There's a cheap flights also.
Yeah.
The country, Hungary, is no euros, They have their own currency. Super cheap. You go to the mall, you eat like a meal, and it's two pounds.
Nice. That'll be very affordable for a lot of people. And then, like what you said though, as well, to put Europe on the map. What you were saying before, Balaton, to put Jiu-Jitsu on the map for Europe. Somebody like Flow Grappling needs to come over and just show the world that we are training as well. There's talent.
One of the examples, and I think people, instead of like being rude to them because they're not filming us, just try to be nice to them. Like there's a photographer sometimes that people say, oh, she's not taking a photo of our team. She probably doesn't know who I am.
Yeah.
You know, I'll go in there, introduce myself, give her a coffee or something like that. And I think that's the best way, really. Like, I don't like to be expecting people to do,
No, but like,
like,
that's
you know, to me, yeah, I just go there and do it myself. Like, we can have our own media, so like, if people have their own time,
yeah.
and like, if somebody's watching this for all this time and they want to do something about it, we can do our own media.
Isn't it? That goes back to
Huh?
mentality. You either complain and sit there and complain, or you find ways to go around it.
Yeah, we find ways to go around it. I think it's the best way for us to do it. You know, everybody's very busy. You know, I can tell that the guys the guys from Flow Grappling are very busy. You know, like, yeah, it's massive.
Well, on YouTube, I mean, even for a beginner like me, they get themselves out so much on YouTube. There's so much stuff, content out there from.
So much stuff, content, interviews, everything, and you know, it is the high level guys because that's what people watch.
Yeah,
it has to be.
It has to be.
So if you want to be interviewed, you got to do your thing. You know, like recently, people have been mentioning Taylor now.
Yeah,
I can see like mentions of Taylor more and more and more, and just patience, and we'll get there. You know, in the UK right now, I think there are, in my opinion, 6 guys that are high level right there now. You know, like high level in any tournament in the world, ADCC, Jiu Jitsu Gi, whatever it is. I think, and it took them many years to get them. And I think these guys deserve the attention for Flow Grappling, or everyone. You know, and they deserve to get paid as well.
Yeah.
Again, and make an income of this as well. You know, it's very important that they get this attention. You know, because like one guy once said, you know, happiness is only real when it's shared.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see some truth to that one.
The guy that said it died. It was the guy that did the backpacking. There's a movie of him. He backpacked in Alaska, and he found a bus.
Yeah.
And he took just a bag of rice for them. He wanted to be isolated. And then he clearly, winter came and he realized he made a mistake. And he was writing a journal. And the last thing he wrote, one of the last things he wrote was that, you know, happiness is only real when it's shared.
That really is searching.
He wanted to show everyone what he was doing and how he was living in Alaska and survived, but he couldn't. He was just too isolated. And, you know, you know, this is sometimes we want to share our success. Sometimes we want to share a success. We want to say, it's not good you saying about it.
Yeah.
Me saying about myself, you know. It's good when people say about you, but sometimes we have to.
Yeah.
You know, when no one says anything, you just say, look, guys, we're doing this great job, you know. Like what I'm trying to do with Flow Grappling, you know.
Yeah. From that, I want to stay on the jiu-jitsu side of thing. I mean, how when we see you rolling, when we see other team rolling, right? From my perspective, the difference between Tommy style to Mateus' style to Manuel's style to Cronin style to like all the top elite guys on the team, everyone's so different. And I'm talking to Tommy about it. My personally think is it's part to do with their personality comes through in the game of jiu-jitsu, right? But from a coaching perspective, how do you coach them? Because they're so different in style.
Well, there is a class that you teach for beginners, not so beginners, and people who are casuals.
Yeah.
You know, for example, I was the other day in Fight City and Shoot Fighters when you had the Grand Slam. Gabriel Souza, everybody came, and they were doing my class as well.
Yeah.
How are you going to do a class like that? Are you going to sit down and teach 12 techniques? No. You're going to do like a warm-up basic of single legs. Maybe you put the guys are ready to do a specific training and work on things that they want to do. And then the other part of the class that is not many competitors or new competitors, you do one position that you have in your head you've been working on.
Yeah.
And then we do rounds of sparring. A lot of sparring though. For me, personally, a lot of sparring, but not just sparring. If you only spar, you have to add specific training, you have to add a technique, you have to add details. I've seen recently now, I cannot mention the name, obviously. If anybody is watching this long, you probably know who it is.
Yeah.
This guy's been in the UK for many, many years. You know, he's a funny guy. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Very arrogant, very, big name, big voice.
Okay.
He speaks very convincing. He's kind of like a guru martial art, I think.
Okay.
He showed spent 22 minutes, 25 minutes, whatever it is, showing a extremely basic technique. And he said he learned it since he was in 2002 or something like that, 3 details. I mean, only one basic technique, and the guy spoke so much about that very basic technique without any variation or anything like that. Just one set of a guard pass, simple guard pass. And, it's clearly that person has been training for that long and has no clue what's going on. That's the reality. The reality is, you can say whatever you want about me, anything, but that person clearly doesn't have a clue, because it's not the technique really. It's not a technique that you sell like a car, like a clothing item.
Yeah.
It's the details, the branches, the why is the person doing what they're doing at that moment. It's not like you're gonna teach like a kata. It's kind of like someone teaching a kata. It's not a kata. We don't have curriculum. So you really need to understand the sport in depth. You really need to completely understand what you're looking at. Even if you don't do it, lapel guard. Man, we have to break down. Not learning one technique of lapel guard.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Oh, I know lapel guard. I know one technique. It's not that. It's a very long process how to learn the system based on this lapel guard on a footlock. Oh, let's say Alain is really good at footlocks. Not really, man. Because then I'm limiting myself to one thing.
Yeah.
You have to know footlocks. You have to know guard passes. And as a coach, man, it's not just that. Is you need to also be aware that when people speak to you and they tell you, like Sarah comes to me and says, this is how this technique is, and you've been doing wrong for all these years, you just have to accept, okay, we'll change it now.
Yeah.
If someone shows me a new variation of a technique that I thought that I knew really well and broke down really well, like a crucifix, like Taylor came to me and said, this is how we do the crucifix. I'm like, yeah, completely different. I need to adapt to that. Just why I wouldn't. And I'll tell you why. Because there's a difference between a sports coach, which is similar like a football coach or a volleyball coach or a cricket coach, and a martial art coach, which is more like a sensei, like untouchable. Like you don't approach this guy. He got this aura around him. He knows everything already. He's got his belt with all his stripes. I don't use my stripes on my belt. Maybe only special occasions. But I don't like to use it because it doesn't matter.
I mean, this goes back to what we were saying earlier. You're open enough to accept there's new style, new techniques coming through in jiu-jitsu all the time.
Because exactly, if you have the guys like we mentioned, all these guys, it's not one good guy.
Yeah.
Like it's people that left their life, invested their lives on this. They're trusting me with that. They said, okay, this is my life. I'm gonna quit my school, my job, my whatever, and this is what I want. It's hard.
It's a big thing.
It's my obligation to study.
Yeah.
To say yes. Otherwise they would be gone by now. Would you really think that these guys wouldn't be gone or somewhere else by now? Of course they would. They want to pursue their dreams. It's like I saw the interviews of high-level guys in the past saying their coach is being great, fantastic things, saying you need to go now, you need to go somewhere else. And I did that in the past.
Yeah.
I did that to James Webb. When James Webb said, I want to do a full-time MMA career, and I want to go to the UFC, I want to be a champion in Cage Warriors, and then I want to go to the UFC. At that moment, I said, okay, you need to go to Ireland. You need to go to somewhere. You gotta, go to another gym. I cannot do.
But that's another thing. A lot of coaches can't let go of their own egos too big for them to stay to
But
their
he's still my student. If you're still nice to the guy, if you still message him, you still support him. I'm still in his corner till this day.
Yeah, but a lot of coaches don't see that. They see, oh, they leave me. That's my star pupil. Huh? That's the mentality.
Yeah, man. What happens is, another thing is this. Like, I think it also comes to the personality of each. You know, like, you got an open-minded personality. You're relaxed about certain things. I'm not jealous about how your students speak about other people. Obviously, you do that all the time. So and so sick. I learned so much with so and so.
Yeah, but
good. Me too. Yeah. Oh, I love to train with this guy from another team and this and that. Yeah, fantastic. I don't care. It's not that. No. But I've seen a lot of mistakes in the past because I've been around for so long. I've been around from the birth of jiu-jitsu in this country, when it started. Yeah. And jiu-jitsu first started in the United, not the very first day, obviously, because I don't think no one knows the very first day. But right at the beginning, 2000 was the beginning. And obviously I've seen a lot of mistakes, but that doesn't mean I'm old school as well. It doesn't exist, this old school in the UK, because we never had this romantic period like in Brazil, where the Vale Tudo was challenging people from Luta Libre. We never had this. When Jiu-Jitsu came to this country, it was already established as a very strong form of martial art, and MMA already had gloves. You know? Yeah. So we never had to, no one here really had to fight bare knuckle. I think only one guy or two, maybe Ian Freeman fought. Lee Remedios, I know, fought bare knuckle, but it wasn't a big thing. He wasn't challenging. I think Lee Remedios didn't even do jiu-jitsu at the time. He was actually trying to fight against jiu-jitsu people. You see, and now he does jiu-jitsu. So it was not no one had to go through that. What we had, as I said before, is very bad information. Yeah. We were all, the difference between now and before is everybody did this just for the love of the sport, a lot for the love of the sport, because it was very amateur. And I was there, I remember. Yeah. You know, it must have come. We had a long way to learn, to try to learn stuff from then, because it was a different sport. If I put, let's say I put Tommy Yip in a time machine right now, and I bring him back to the year 2000 to compete, the few tournaments we had a year, he would have not only murdered everyone, and everybody would have been in shock. We didn't have the phones to film at the time. At least I don't remember. But there was like videos, you know, probably someone a video that would have been in the history of jiu-jitsu. It's a different sport. It's an evolution. It's a forever evolution. Evolving. Yeah, it was a blue belt. I didn't know what half guard was. Yeah. Is that a relatively new thing? Huh? Is that relatively new, the half guard? I don't know, but I learned proper half guard, I would say, in 2006. Right. As a purple belt. Not proper, but the beginning of the half guard evolving. Beginning, no, I don't know if I was the beginning of the half guard. It's been long. This guy Gordo in Brazil, Gracie Barra, developed the half guard in the 80s. But that information, you see, we didn't have that many videos back then. Yeah. Online videos. Like we have now, instructions. Let's learn about half guard. Boom, YouTube, half guard, done. I had to drive hours, 4 hours, I think, from Gainesville, Florida, all the way to Fort Lauderdale to learn one technique, one arm triangle. I remember you telling me this story somewhere in ATT, right? Or something like that. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. I had to do that, you know. Obviously, we had technology, you know. There's videos of me fighting as a blue belt online on YouTube. Yeah. You know, there's cameras and we have technology, but it's not like today. There was not that many information. And there's also not that many people training like there is now, which also makes the sport even better. That's why the new rules come into place. Let's say, for example, they said, stop jumping guard if you're a white belt. Good thing. Thank you, the IBJJF. Some people criticize, oh, I'm old school. Man, you just missed something that isn't there anymore. Yeah. You just have to put the work in. If you're old school in the UK and you criticize this modern jiu-jitsu and you think it wasn't like in your days, you're wrong, bro. Because I was there, you know. You have to learn the new style. And if the IBJJF says stop doing jump guards when you're a white belt, it's because I've seen horrible injuries before. Who hasn't? If you're a coach and you've been around jiu-jitsu and you've never seen somebody smash their knee in half when they do like this jump close guard, I don't even know what that is for. You know, kids now. Kids could do it. Back in the day, we had kids getting smashed their knees. Now they don't do it anymore. It's for some reason. The IBJJF's been around for a long time as well. They knew what they were doing. You know? Obviously, they could give more for the athletes. That's 100%. But then, man, look, if it wasn't for the IBJJF, Jiu-Jitsu wouldn't be what it is today.
Where it is.
Simple.
No.
Simple. Oh, it's better to be in the Olympics. No, the Olympics committee will destroy our sport.
Yeah. Well, I think it'll put
I believe
too much.
we're doing well the way we are. We don't need the Olympics.
Yeah. As much as I want it to be an Olympic sport or as big as Olympic sport, I think by the time it goes into Olympic, it'll put too much restriction on the.
It's difficult. I tell you, it's difficult. It's a 10-minute match, black belt. It's difficult. I don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, we never know. If I could guess, if I had a lamp, I would have guessed what happened after Corona. You know,
Yeah.
virus and everything. But you know, like you can't imagine. One day maybe will. You know, but just look at the pattern. Look what happened to karate. Look what happened to taekwondo. Look what happened to judo. They're like all sports. You know, and they took the effectiveness. Like, let's be real, you know, like the average karate gym, you know, that you're training in the hall with this out of shape karate instructor with a ki thing, you're gonna get your ass whooped, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's real. You know, while the boxing kid is sweating in the gym, punching as hard as he can.
Yeah.
You know, and he fights the whatever sensei who's just doesn't, you know, that only trains and katas for
unrealistic dream they sell. Not all, but a lot of martial arts do sell this unrealistic self-defense dream.
Yeah,
and
I always criticize.
It's
Always
dangerous.
criticize it, yeah. It's not real, and it's hard to explain. Maybe someone really smart can explain one day for me and make that very accessible for a lot of people. What I see it in a way that is, I mean, what I see is this: you have no clue of self-defense. Obviously, what a fight is, if you're doing self-defense, in my opinion, there is no way. If you got caught in a fight, you're gonna do what you're doing in a hall against someone out of shade.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that.
Yeah, drilling a knife. It's just impossible. However, it's easy for me to sell it to you for a short period of the time, for 3 years until you get your Rex Kondo black belt. Then it's better for me, you know. I don't have to make you work hard. I don't have you to train hard. I don't have to do all this learning bullshit. And people coming to me and said, "Man, what are you doing, Claudio? Coming out, this is wrong. This omoplata, whatever it is, Max Carvalho sitting, I know a better omoplata than this one." During a session you're doing or something like that, obviously very discreet, and you're like, okay. And you just accept that and yeah, it's true. And you just start doing that way. That doesn't happen to the Rex Kondo. He will take massive offense.
Yeah, they will.
You know?
That's the thing. This is what...
So it's a difficult thing. And most people, maybe everyone, never had a street fight before. No, and if they did, they was against someone.
Never had a street fight. I think if you had a fight as a child,
I would learn from a hooligan, from you know, one of those hooligans from old school hooligans from Millwall, how to fight. Exactly. Than those guys, you know, if I had to learn how to fight with someone, yeah. Because they've been punched in the face too many times. Yeah.
I'm saying, like what you said, you meet one of them hooligan type who's been into street brawls a couple of times, and you suddenly trying to do this Bushido. It's not, man. Okay, unless you're really lucky and really you got a Conor McGregor's hand. I don't know.
Or you're extremely athletic, but then you're gonna beat the guy because of your athleticism and the work you put into athleticism. But if you walk into a hall like I did before, this Krav Maga, whatever it is, and course, and you see 99% of the people just are super stiff, which is, it takes out the, like, you see all the good fighters, their mobility, you know, how they move. Like you see Mike Tyson fighting, big strong guy, and how he moves, how flow he is. You know, like Conor McGregor in his striking, how much he moves and flows. In Jiu-Jitsu, Rodolfo Vieira moving, massive guy. It's the movement. And if you're doing those stiff exercises of blocking, you're just getting stiffer. It's better for you to do football which sounds absurd, but yeah, because at least you're moving.
You're
You see so many great fighters like Jose Aldo came from football. James Webb was a football player for Colchester United, my team.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
But anyway, Kev, I have to go now. I have to make a phone call.
It's
to
good.
Brazil.
No, it's all good.
My
Thank you,
sister is
Professor, for your
calling.
time, and let's do this again soon. But it's been a
Let's do
really
it
good
anytime. I
story
enjoyed it a lot.
and history lessons on UK BJJ scene.
Thank you so
very
much.
much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
See you soon.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.